How to create a vector grid shape in Affinity Photo, as well as Designer and Publisher. This is for PC or Mac. Really easy, just using a very basic rectangle, and that's duplicated multiple times. So I'm going to show you the steps to do to create it. So let's just remove that and then go to File and New. And the reason for this, I need the settings for the page width and height to be something nice and useful. And I'm going to go with 2020. You can see down here, I've set it to 2020. Doesn't matter about the DPI. It's a vector design. Doesn't matter at all. So set it to 2020. And the reason being, I'm going to go for a cell size of 20. So the width, they're all going to be 20 with a gap of 20, 20, etc. The 20 additional at the end of the 2000, obviously it's not 2000. 20 is for the additional end lines. So let's click create. And with that, you can now just go over here. Now, because this is a new document, it defaults it back to the default fill color, which is set to white, which is not very convenient. So I would suggest just click the document and drag with the rectangle tool selected. So here's the rectangle tool and just create something very basic firstly. Then you go up here and you go to the fill, click here, and then change the color to red, green, etc. Now what you can do is you can resize this. However, sometimes when you do this, you might find it's very hard to set it exactly to 20. It might go to 21, 22, but getting it to 20 might not be easy without zooming in. So let's just quickly go to the zoom tool and zoom in a bit. Okay, now again, move tool. And now I can resize it. And you can see as I resize this, go down, goes down to 20. So I want it to be set to 20. Okay, now we can zoom quickly again the other way because I don't want to obviously see that. I just want to see the whole thing. So now we've got our design. Now I want it to fill from top to bottom. So let's just check. Yep, top to bottom, you got that. That's the first line. Now duplicate it. Super easy way of doing it, instead of obviously holding down the Alt or Option key and duplicating that way, is just press return. As long as you've got the move tool selected, press return and you get this. So now what you can do is you can go and set here the horizontal setting. If I put it to 20, you can see it just shifts by 20. But you can also go down to duplicate. So you've got that and that side by side. I don't want that. I want a gap of 20. So what I need to do is go here and set the horizontal to 40. So now I've got a gap. I've got a gap of 20 and I've got obviously the line of 20 width. And now I've got a number of copies. And let's just type in 50. The reason for, obviously that's because of the size. Now, of course, you can simply just go over here, number of copies. You can just drag it. Just drag it across. You don't have to go all the way. You might want to create only 40 or whatever lines. But you go for there and 49 and 50. That's the end point there for all the way across. And click OK. So now we've got these lines. And if you go over here to the layers, you can find the layers panel in the window menu. So window and layers. You can find all the panels here. So layers, they're all rectangles, all exactly the same. Well, now what you can do is also you can go over here and rectangle tool here. Now you'll notice one thing, when you do various changes, you'll notice some odd lines popping up. So if I just drag across here like that, and you can see then I can move them around. So then you can see that just snapping. It's a sort of snap feature. Well, what you can do is you can go here, view and snapping. Makes it really easy. Just makes it snap to the nice. You don't have to sort of judge it. Oh, yes, it's at that position. You can use a snap and it will just automatically set it to that 0 position at the top. So snapping, and just make certain enable snapping is on, and you've got snap to grid, etc. You can turn those on, guides, etc. So all these options, you can put them on and close. And now simply just drag this up here, and you can see you can drag this around, but you can see it snaps. So you can see those lines, both directions. And now, of course, I'm going to try go downwards. But let's just quickly again, let's zoom in because I know what's going to happen. It's not going to like it. It gets to a certain height and it will suddenly jump to 0. Very odd feature, but that's what it seems to do. So again, I've zoomed in a bit, move tool again, and now you can see I can just drag there. And now you can see the height is 27, 26, 25, 22, 20. That's what I want. So 20. And again, let's just go over here. Now, just drag this across. Try and avoid stretching it downwards in any way. Otherwise, you'll have to reset it again just by doing the height. But now it's from left to right. Also, it's set to 20, exactly the same as the other one. All the others here. Now you can do exactly the same. Move tool, that's selected. Press return or enter on the keyboard. That brings that panel up. You can also remove it, of course, as well. Okay, now what you can do is the vertical setting. So exactly the same as before, I could put 20 there and that just moves it down by 20. But this time if I do duplicate, you can see it's just obviously next to each other. But now I can again put 40 there. So 40, obviously I've got a gap of 20. And now what I can do, number of copies, because it's uniform document, it's all uniform, I'm going to go for 50 again. So now with 50, click OK. And they're all individual vector shapes. You can change them. You don't have to keep them so the same size. So you can select one, just resize it. Again, zoom in and resize because it's more fiddly, I think, with smaller settings. You don't have to go with 20 by 20 or 50 or by 50. You could go with obviously different settings. Now, you can see now you've got this design. Again, let's just go to the zoom tool. So you can see the whole grid. And I'm just going to use, let's see, the move hand tool there. You can see now you've got your grid there. Obviously, it's very, very small cells. You don't have to go with that. You could go with 50 and 50 and 50 and 50 or 100 and 100, 100. Just something. Just make it nice and uniform. Okay, now, again, select the move tool and you want to drag over all of them. Just drag over every single one or just go to layers and select them all. Now, a good thing to do is always just to go through all the layers. I always find just make certain they've all been selected. There isn't suddenly one shape that's not selected. So they're now all selected. What you can then do is you can go to layer and you can go down here to geometry and then go to add. You think merge. Sometimes that doesn't always end up with the same result as you think you will get, but I think better option, go with the add. So add, it takes a few seconds, process, and there you have your grid. So now if we zoom in again, let's just zoom in. You can see that, and you've got this lovely vector grid, which you can then resize, move around. You can recolor it. So let's just go over here to fill. I might change it to red or green, etc. Now it's all going to change. It's all one single curve now. Now this curve, you can then manipulate it further using all the various tools. You've got exactly the pen tool, node tool, etc. They can manipulate it in many other ways. You can resize it. You can rotate it. This is all using the move tool. You can also skew it. So let's just hover over there. You can see the skew comes up. So you can change that. You can also go here with the move tool selected, hold down the Alt Option key, and then just drag, and that will duplicate that grid design. And the grid design can also be manipulated further, maybe with other tools, maybe vector tools, especially if you're using it in Affinity Designer. But another option you can always use is just turn it into a pixel layer. Maybe that's all you need it for. So a vector layer that can be turned into pixel, all you need to do is go to layer and then down here to rasterize. And that will rasterize it, turn it into pixel layer, and then you can manipulate it further with various tools like deform as well as mirror, etc. If you don't want to create it each and every time, really good idea is to store it away in your assets. Here's the assets panel. You can find that in window menu and assets. So with this, you can just simply go over here with it selected using the move tool. Just go to here, right side menu there, add from selection. Select that and that will be stored away. And then you can use it in future projects. Now, of course, you could create other grid sizes, other grid designs, maybe non-uniform ones, but you can use much the same process as well. Hope you found this of interest. Any questions, thoughts, please let me know. Bye.